let's get into this season.
There's a lot to talk about.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot, and it feels particularly, I mean, it's always contentious, but like I feel like it's particularly contentious this season. We have a lot of back and forth involving a lot of different players, and I feel like you two are kind of like the middlemen in a lot of situations. You're kind of hearing everybody, and you always do such a great job, especially you, Dolores, obviously, for in past seasons of hearing and holding space for everybody. How do you both navigate this, especially you, Rachel? This is your first season.
You know, I think it's kind of like knowing your place.
Right.
This drama with Melissa and Teresa has existed way before I have ever been in this picture.
Right.
So also just knowing that like I can have an opinion on things, but I don't need to insert myself in things that don't have to do with me, especially family drama.
I've always treated this like my friends are like my family, and I'm one of 5. And I don't like to try to, like she says, insert myself into places where you don't belong. Right. You can have your opinion, you could support your friend, but you don't need to support the beef that's going on.
Now, we're coming up on like midway through the season. There's a lot of milestones we've yet to hit. We haven't seen the cast trip yet. We haven't seen Teresa's wedding yet. What are you looking most forward to for audiences to see coming up?
Both, equally both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cast trip is a nice prelude to the wedding.
Yeah.
And the wedding is an iconic in itself. I mean, it's Teresa Giudice getting married after all these years and everything that she's been through and watching the girls grow, and it's like the end to a chapter in her life, but the beginning of the best life, her best life.
You've teased before that it's emotional. We're going to see a lot of things come to the surface on that trip.
The finale is beyond emotional. The finale the next day was in my house. Did you feel sick the next day? I felt nauseous.
I had nothing left in the tank.
And her and I weren't in the middle of the fights, but it just drained your energy. Literally, there was a heaviness in my house the next day.
Okay. Whew. All right. So obviously, Rachel, going to you, this is your first season. Going in, what expectations did you have, and did they get met? Or surpassed?
I kind of went into it with no expectations.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna take it day by day. Let's see what happens. I really wanted to keep an open mind and get to know everybody for who they showed me they were, not what I had watched on the show, what I had read, what I had heard.
Right.
I really wanted to give everybody equal opportunity to like get to know each other. But no really expectations other than the fact that like it's just a whirlwind of drama, like whirlwind. That expectation was definitely met.
Yeah. What's been the best and worst part of watching all of the season back? And this is a question for both of you.
I hate watching it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great show to watch if I wasn't on it.
Yeah.
But to relive the moments, and it was hard for me because I was very vulnerable this season, showing affection and things that I don't typically, as Rachel knows. I'm not that girl, I'm very thick-skinned, I'm very tough exterior, and here I am with my new relationship, and it's different for me. So that was hard for people to really see the raw part of me.
You know what the hard thing is too? It's like, outside of this group of friends, right? If you have an issue with somebody, you can talk about them behind their backs and, with your husband or another friend, and like you never hear these private conversations. And now, fast forward, and now you're hearing what these people are saying about you.
Yes.
It's like, oh, that's how she feels? Okay, let me write that down.
Yes. Dolores, I have to say, obviously everyone is talking about your Watch What Happens live appearance because you're so candid, as you usually are and as you have been for years, but you were so candid about, using Mounjaro and your appearance, and I just feel like you kind of made Housewives history.
Did I?
I think you did. I really do. I think you did.
My bosses told me not to read anything or talk to anybody about it and stay off of social media because there was a lot being said.
Yes.
So tell me what's going on.
I'll tell you what's being said. Honestly, it's a really good mix. There's been, of course, backlash because everyone's going to have a negative opinion about something. You could do the nicest thing in the world and someone would have a negative opinion about it.
That's right.
But you know what? A lot of people have said that's so refreshing to see that level of candor in this day and age because you know what people are doing and you know that housewives have this immense pressure to look a certain way.
Right.
And it's hard to hear, folks who you see and trust and love seeing on screen, all the time go, oh yeah, I just look like this. Or anyone can do this.
I work out too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't eat a lot of junk food. But people can have unrealistic expectations. I'm sorry, I'm 52 years old. I have other kind of health issues. I have thyroid issues, inflammation. She knows. You know, and I'm going through menopause. Like, listen, I'm not going to sit in front of women that are looking at me and saying, "Oh, she just worked out," but no,
just melted off her body.
I'm telling the truth.
That's one of the things that I really admire about Dolores, and I think a lot of our fans do too, is that she's very authentic and forthcoming about the things that she does. And if they're gonna hate her for being authentic, like that's what we signed up for. So
and I went to a very good doctor, a double board certified endocrinologist, where I am being treated. So I'm honest, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I just appreciate that so much. I mean, my mom is a huge Housewives fan. You know, obviously she says all the time, it's so, like, I almost feel gaslit by watching women whom I know are my age, you know, just saying they work out and eat well, because so do I, and I don't look like that. Right. So
it's not.
Yeah, I think you're making people feel better about the measures that women just take.
People
don't blame
should
the
not
individual.
be ashamed of that. And I literally got phone calls and people whispering on the phone, "Where can I go and what is it like?" I'm like, first of all, it's a phone call. You don't have to whisper, and there's no shame in this.
Right.
It is your decision. Do it right. Go to the right place. And maybe you're a candidate and maybe you're not. It's not for everyone.
I always say, don't blame the individual, blame the industry.
Yeah.
The beauty industry and expectations are impossible, and we're all trying to meet them in some way or another. Last question for you. Do you guys know what you're wearing for the reunion yet? That's a more fun question.
I'll let you know at the end of the day because I have a dress coming in from California.
when does it come? When does it get delivered?
Okay.
Sometime today.
Okay.
Yeah. This one got her dressed in 5 minutes.
But
so.
and not purposely, yes. I just happened to like pop into a dress store and it was the first dress I tried on.
And perfect. She's very organized. Rachel Fuda is the most organized
I'm
person
lucky. I'm lucky.
We can see from watching you. It's admirable.